Okay guys, so today I'm gonna do a bunch of pull-ups because I think it's like 7 weeks out from going to Stamford, Connecticut to speak at the Athlete X Live event. So Jeff Cavalier had me out there last year and I worked with small groups, but this year I'm gonna be a presenter on the stage on Friday. So I'm actually gonna be out there presenting, which is a huge honor. But every year they do like an Athlete X Games thing, where on Saturday it's like a ton of pull-ups, push-ups, and then various other things. So they don't let you know the exact events and what's going to be, how many reps you're going to have to do and things like that. They don't let you know until the day before. But we have a good idea. There's always going to be a lot of push-ups and pull-ups. So I'm training those pretty hard here. So I'm doing pull-ups today. Going to bench tomorrow. Already squatted this week. I'm going to show the footage of all that and all that sort of stuff. So for the next 2 months, next 7 weeks until this event, I'm going to be emphasizing pull-ups way more heavily than deadlift. And then I'm going to shift back to deadlift after the event. But I'm still squatting a bunch, benching a bunch, all that sort of thing. Now today I also have an 8-mile run. So I started a 10-week program to get to a 1 hour, 50-minute half marathon, which is an 8:24 pace, I believe. So my PR half marathon is 1:58 when I was 150 pounds. So now I'm 220 pounds and I'm trying to get a 1:50 half marathon. I've been training for 3 months, but I'm gonna do an 8-mile run today. And I'm gonna show you guys, this is kind of what my day looks like as far as every day, what we're doing. So I always start my day off, I wake up at 4:30, get to the gym at 5, and around, I'd say 9:30, I have a Rain. So I'm not sponsored by Rain, obviously. Rain's a huge company, but I have a Rain, 300 milligrams of caffeine. So usually every day I just have a Rain, 300 milligrams of caffeine, that's it, about 9:30. Today I went to the store, I got a Gatorade for midway through the run. I'm gonna chug this. I'm gonna put it in the bushes and chug it halfway through. I also got, I'll show you over here. I got some 4 cheese tomato sauce. So what I'm gonna do with this, let me show you what I eat every day. So every day I make this, and okay, so here's what we got. This is the aftermath of it. So we've got beef, rice, tomato sauce, and then I put sea salt on it. So this is a typical, this will be like 2 meals right here. And then I'll eat something in the evening like pizza or something like that. But this is the clean portion. This is 80-20 organic grass-fed ground beef, or not organic, 80-20 grass-fed ground beef from Walmart. A pound of that, jasmine rice, and then obviously the tomato sauce and the salt. And so I'll have this every day, and then I'll have some eggs, and then I'll have, whatever else. But this is how I'll start the day off. This will be like my pre-run fuel. And then actually I'm gonna do pull-ups first, and then I'll do the run later in a couple hours. All right guys, I'm driving out to where I'm gonna plant the Gatorade for my run. So I've got about 8 miles on the docket today. This is kind of Oak Ridge you're seeing here. This is the, it's nice, man. I run through these neighborhoods a lot, but on my long run day, I like to kind of get out on a little more, on the trails a little bit. All right, guys, we are gonna dive right into the video here. And I'm gonna show you some data from my Garmin. Obviously, this isn't entirely accurate because it's a wrist strap. But over the last 7 days, my average resting heart rate, 44 beats per minute, presumably when I'm sleeping. Average total sleep, 6 hours, 31 minutes per night. So I get up at 4:30 Monday through Friday. It makes it tough to get a whole lot more than that. But I try to catch up on it on weekends. So Saturdays and Sundays. More of that. Total steps in the last month, 388,000, averaging 13,876 per day. So that's a pretty good amount, but that's with running factored in, which adds a fair bit to it. This is, what is this? Average daily running, 3.3 miles, average weekly, 23.2 miles. So 93 miles I put in from April 8th to May 5th in the last 4 weeks. And you can see here, so this is June, this is the last year. Average monthly 30.4, Well, really, this is honestly, guys, this is just, I didn't run every month, but 221.4 pounds body weight. Lowest I've been is 219.5. So I've lost a little bit of weight, as you can see here. It's gone down a smidge, but I'm holding around 220-ish. Fitness age, this is kind of a cool feature. They base it on your resting heart rate and, you know, the amount of cardio you're doing. It says I'm roughly 27 years old in terms of how in shape I am. So basically I'm 31 and a half, but it says I'm roughly 27. VO2 max 48. Again, this stuff isn't entirely accurate because it's based off the wrist strap. So I'm gonna get a chest strap heart rate monitor, which will be way more accurate. But I just thought it'd be cool to kind of share. Now this is some of my last bench workout. So I was going for a 6x6 with 265, and I got 5x6 with 265. And then this is the last set. I got 5 here, and I could tell a 6th was going to be dicey. So I feel like bench is actually holding pretty good, pretty strong, particularly off creatine. And I'm just not on creatine right now because I don't want the extra weight with the water weight that comes from it. So I feel like it's going okay. Now I'm going to show you some of my training basically here of pretty much what I do. So I would do a bench like that. I start out with my heavier bench. Then I'd go to lateral raises. So these are 35s, fairly strict. So this is what my form looks like, and I'm putting a heavy focus into lateral raises to try to bring up my delts and really get that shape in the delts, and try to grow the width of my shoulders. So I'll start out with 35s. I've done 40s for like 6, and that's how strict I try to keep it right there. Drop down to 30s here. We're just gonna get another 10 in. So very high rep sets, you know, guys. Everything is super high reps right now. More of this bodybuilding emphasis on the accessories with a lot of rest pausing. So you can see there a little bit of a rest pause for 10 seconds or so, as you start to build up that lactic acid and fatigue a little bit. So this is what I look like with more of a pump. And that's a 2XL t-shirt. So obviously if I were to wear like an XL now, which is more so what suits me, it would look a little better. But dropping down 25s here, I think I get another like 10 or 15. So this is what I'm talking about with 30, 35, 40, even 50 rep sets. Like this is what my training looks like. A lot of this kind of stuff. So really emphasizing a lot of direct delt work, particularly lateral raises this year, upwards of 6 days a week in some cases. I'm really trying to bring up that weakness. So I drop it down even to 20s here and knock out some more. So I think this actually was a 40 rep set, 40 rep drop set. So this would be one example of something I do as an accessory. Lateral raises are a huge focus. And these are really going well. So I've never done lateral raises really before in training. I've done maybe lateral raises like once every 6 months, but that's about it. Now, this is alternating dumbbell curls. And again, I try to keep it pretty strict here, guys. So these are 30s, and I believe I'm going to do 20 per side. And I'm just really trying to keep it strict, focus on the contraction at the top, not get too sloppy with it. I prefer the alternating dumbbell curls over other curl variations because I seem to just get a better pump and more blood flow into the biceps with these. So again, I'm putting a lot more work into direct bicep training because that really hasn't been a thing that I've incorporated over the last few years. I haven't done hardly any direct bicep training. I think there was a phase in 2017 where I did about 3 months of hard direct bicep training, but it really hasn't been much of an emphasis at all. So one of the tools you guys can use is like rest pausing. Rest pausing is going to be huge in terms of allowing you to get more reps in and do these crazy high rep sets. So if we're talking 40 reps total here, you know, this is one way I'll do that. See, it's not great, but it's coming along. Okay, I have put a lot of work into the biceps. They're coming along. So I'm putting in, this is bodybuilding stuff. Here, tricep pushdowns. Again, I try to stay very upright, keep the cables in close, be really strict about it. And this is, I believe, a 50 rep set with on the Bells of Steel thing here. So it's just, I try to keep strict form number one with the isolation movements. I try to go super high reps, 30 to 40 to 50 rep sets, and I try to do 4 or 5 sets total of each. So this is really fun for me because it's giving me, I'm putting on more muscle. My physique looks way better. I mean, here's the thing. This complements running tremendously because I'm losing body fat. I'm way leaner, down to 220, but I'm also shaping the muscle, packing on the muscle, and it's just really complementing things perfectly. So I've had a lot of fun with this kind of stuff, and it's not taxing. So I'm still squatting heavy once per week, and that was my heavy bench, albeit it's not as heavy as I've gone. I mean, I was doing 6x6s with like 300-ish going into my meet. And this is also, I'm doing pull-ups now. I'm doing a lot more pull-ups. This is, I believe, 12 strict dead hang pull-ups because I'm training for the Athlete X Live event where it's heavy into pull-ups and push-ups. I went last year to Jeff Cavalier's event in New York. I got invited back this year to be a speaker, a presenter. And I just like to participate with everybody else. So usually the speakers, they don't participate with everyone in terms of the event. But I'm already out there. I think it'd be, it's fun to do. So I'm going to train this year for it and do some, probably 2 days of weighted pull-ups,